Hey everyone, imagine that. I mean, other than some pretty cool outlets, some up and coming actually that are challenging the established media tremendously and actually kind of overtaking them as far as subscriber base and participation and comments and their ability to have a reach to the greater population. But other than the online world, actual like newspapers or editorials in publications, tangible publications, to find one in the world in Canada today that supports anything even remotely that would have to do with libertarian principles or values. Good luck on that, right? Most of these publications don't care much for freedom because they rely on that forced wealth redistribution model or cronyism or cozying up to the government to get corporate favoritism, right? But here it is. This is from the Edmonton Sun by Lorne Gunter. Why I'd vote for Maxime Bernier. Sounds good so far. I like the headline. Let's read on and see what Lorne's got to say about Maxime. If I were a member of the Conservative Party of Canada, in brackets, I belong to no party, federal or provincial, I would vote for Maxime Bernier for leader later this month. The man calls himself an Albertan from Quebec. What's not to like about that? More specifically, Bernier is a libertarian. He believes in more decentralized federalism, a smaller government, less involved Canadians' day-to-day lives, as well as more personal freedoms. Think about this all. Like, how could it? You know, you got trolls and government propagandists out there when you hear stuff like this, and you'll hear all the attacks against it, right? I mean, when you see that in social media, you know these aren't just normal people. I mean, some of them might be, but they're just mindless morons that are regurgitating and repeating what they've been told by their trolls or their political or propagandist overlords, right? Really. Because, I mean, listen to like I say, listen to this stuff, okay? More specifically, for instance, take Bernier's pledge to leave even more decisions up to provincial governments on issues such as healthcare, innovation, and educational choices. Oh no, giving provinces the competitive advantage of being able to compete with each other for the masses, right? Oh yeah, because competition is terrible, right? To collectivists it is. According to Canada's Constitution, health, education, and welfare are exclusively provincial jurisdictions. The Fed should have no say. No shit. However, for the 30 years until Stephen Harper came along in 2006, the prevailing attitude in Ottawa was that the fathers of Confederation had made a mistake. In 1867, they should really have given the federal government final say about how health care is delivered, who sets school curriculum, and how much welfare should be paid out and to whom. Right? Successive federal administrations, both liberal and conservative, used what is called the federal spending power to get their way on matters of provincial authority. If provinces wanted to keep receiving the billions Ottawa ships their way every year to pay for social programs, they would have to bring their policies in line with federal demands. So, yeah, you do what I say and I'll reward you for it, right? Greasing the palms. Federal spending power is another way of saying policy blackmail. Exactly. Oh, that sounds exactly what, right? You do what I say and I'll reward you for such. Exactly. Lots of progressives were therefore aghast when Harper stopped trying to impose federal policy on far-flung provincial capitals. How could he not see the wisdom of using billions of tax dollars to impose their will on every government in the country? If anything, Bernier would decentralize even more than Harper. Oh, I know damn fucking well he would. I know damn well he would. Harper was no fucking libertarian. But one huge benefit of Harper's and Bernier's approach is that it has given Canada a decade of constitutional peace. Throughout the spending power period, intergovernmental relations were testy more often than not. Decentralization has helped blunt Quebec nationalism and calm Western alienation. Bernier, who served in several cabinet posts in the Harper government, would also choke off growth in government by reducing taxes, money being the lifeblood of government expansion. Exactly. You have to cut off taxes if you want to shrink government. Any kind of increase in taxes is always going to be an increase in government. because they're going to find a way to spend that. They're not going to leave anything on the table. I mean, look at it. Debts and deficits as far as the eyes can see, as far as the central planners are concerned. He is also in favor of ending corporate welfare to companies such as Bombardier, reducing barriers to competition and phasing out supply-managed agricultural culture so consumers have more choice and lower prices. Once again, name anything, any of you that watches this, name any of the things that they're putting forth here that you don't like personally as a person, as a consumer, right? Name any of these things that's, oh, I don't like it. Point one out. I want to hear it. Put it in the comment below. He wants to reduce or eliminate equalization payments to have not provinces, stop the federal carbon price before it is implemented, and privatize such federal operations as Canada Post and major airports, right? Totally on board with all this stuff. It'll actually mean greater competition, reduced prices, and better service. Oh, that's a terrible thing, I guess, huh? Not in my eyes. He also believes in balanced budgets. Oh my God, he doesn't want to enslave future generations with debt obligations in the here and now. Oh, what's there not to like about that? Unless you're one of these parents or grandparents that just want to force that. You want to live all high and mighty now, all entitled, right? And force your future generation to pay for it, or even not your future generation, but other people's future generation pays for it. Like I say, you're the parasitical. You're the fucking piece of shit as far as I'm concerned. Maxime, there's nothing outrageous or radical about saying, no, we don't have any right. Actually, it's called the golden rule. Used to be anyways. You don't have any right to enslave any future generations just because you want to spend the here and now. He also believes in, okay, on top of all that, I believe the MP from the Quebec constituency of Beauce, a middle-class riding south of Quebec City, is the most electable of all the candidates in the race to replace Stephen Harper. He's an engaging speaker who is one of the few conservatives in the country who can take on Liberal Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, not just 2 elections from now, but in the next vote in 2019. And he's has a very solid record as a libertarian on social issues, which means liberals will love him. Because that's the beautiful thing about libertarians, the philosophy. Liberty means all those social freedoms that people love, right? He's all on board with that. The only difference is in economics is you don't get to force others to pay for your shit. You have to fucking pony up and be personally responsible and take care of your business, take care of yourself. That's the part that I guess, that's the part where the progressives or the leftists don't like. They love the social freedoms, but they don't like the economic freedoms. They'd rather enslave other people to take care of their economics. And that's really what it comes down to. Whereas the libertarian says, no, you get freedom from both sides. But it also means, your freedoms also means personal responsibility and accountability too, right? Which is a good thing. A lot of people like the freedoms. They just don't like the accountability and responsibility that comes along with it. Anyways, as you probably realize by now, yes. And even though I did not choose to delve into the fray as of yet into politics, because I'm pretty apolitical at this stage in my life, don't believe in that whole process a whole lot. But if Bernier wins this, and I've said this in past videos, if Bernier wins this leadership race and becomes the federal leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, yep, Bennett Hunter, the Canadian Libertarian, is actually going to have to go out. And not only am I going to go out and check Bernier's name off, right, come election time, but I'm actually going to do a lot of stuff between now and then, because this is 2017. We still got 2 years left, so I got lots of time. We got lots of time to help spread the philosophy and message of liberty even further to the people. Because, like I say, now that this word libertarian is going to have to be put forth and presented now, because if he becomes the leader of the Conservative Party, like I said, we went just from 2012 Ron Paul elections. Nobody even knew what libertarian was in the U.S. In Canada, now we have people, it just rolls off the tongue now, right? So, yeah, we've advanced the ideas of liberty, the philosophy of liberty greatly. Now it's just got to be transversed and translated into the realm of politics and brought to fruition, at least as best we can in that realm. So go Max, go, as far as I'm concerned. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.